Namato Ratana Tayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello everyone, good evening. Today is Friday 17th of April 2020. This is Achan Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, we are here on this night. I know that this is a difficult time, so it's like I am coming to your home to share and to talk and being a friend with you this time of the night, evenings. Last night I spoke about connectedness in relation to the social network theory. On the basis of a social network theory, we are all playing our part, our role as an actor in one of the parts. And then how it relates to us in this situation. And now today, on the basis of that, I want to extend a little bit on that. We are all suffering from this coronavirus spreading, and it's very infectious, and we are asked to stay home and keep safe distances, helping one another to keep ourselves safe. At the moment, our attention is more on this coronavirus and its spread. But when we look at it, it's becoming a network. This is a network. And with this, there are so many other problems connecting and connected. And we can hear a lot of troubles and a lot of difficulties lining up. Economical problem, travel, political problem, and most importantly, job losses. Probably hundreds of companies will be bankrupt or closed. And then millions of people will die hunger, nothing to eat. And even IMF warn that because of this lockdowns in Asian countries, millions of people will be displaced and will be problem about the food. So the whole change been affected simply because of this coronavirus. So at this moment, although we are concentrating on this virus, but in fact, it is affecting every walks of life and every organizations. And with this, what is coming? The troubles, dishonests, and robberies, and so many other things are coming. And it will, definitely. So that's why it's a very worrying time. And this situation, one of the members asked me what Buddhism has to offer to people in this situation. And when I reflected that, I could not think anything more than just a one topic, that is the precepts, the 5 precepts, which is the fundamental teachings of the Buddha. Now, if we all believe and if we all accept that we are all connected and everything is interconnected and every action is interconnected, whatever we do, it has an effect, then we can see the relationship that every actions that we take it has a reaction to us and then to others. So, if we practice these 5 precepts, you don't have to be a Buddhist to practice 5 precepts. It's a standard principles that one can live with it. And then with that, not only oneself keeping safe and not only keeping oneself in a state of calmness, but also keeping others safe too. So we become an actor rather than an actor. Yeah? So the 5 precepts are, number 1, it says, no harming and no killing any beings. And I think in this time of this crisis situation, this no harm and killing any beings is a very, very important principle to live, to create the harmony, to create the peace within and in the family. I've been repeating again and again previous talks that with this lockdown, domestic violence increased, domestic abuse increased, and there is a possibility, as in China, that after lockdown released, hundreds of families will go down the line to divorce. And with this, if we are conscious and practicing this first precepts of not harming or killing any beings, what we are doing is generating the kindness to one another. There will be no violence at all if you're conscious that I observe precepts of not harming and not killing any beings, and that even counting of ourselves too, our family, our children, our friends, our relatives. So this needs to be understood and practiced properly. And with that, what will happen is we understand the value of ourselves and then a value of others. And we are generating this kindness and sharing that kindness towards one another. And this is again, we become an actor rather than an actor. We are the central point, helping to build this harmony and kindness. So this is the first precepts. Not harming and killing any beings. And this harming or killing, again, is not just like a physically killing. It is about the abuse, harmful actions that you do physically and verbally. And physically, again, you're doing with your family members within this confined small place. And obviously it generates so much other emotions because of living together so long. And verbally, maybe you will post something against your family members or against your friends or against your government or anybody. And that's also harming. And here, you're rather than creating harmony, rather than working together to find the cohesiveness, to find the right way, right path to deal with it, we're creating more conflict. There is no kindness being generated. So, first precepts we need to practice and consciously being aware of that. The very famous Zen master, so-called Thich Nhat Hanh, from Plum Village, from Vietnamese. He's a Vietnamese. He used this first precepts as practice of a mindfulness of not harming any beings. So just being mindful of your every action, being conscious that you are not going to do anything, any shorts of that harming that may cause conflict, abuse, so and so. So if you are practicing this first precepts, then you will be able to reduce your emotions, your anxiety, your stress, and also consciously you're also helping your family members, your friends, your community, your society. Even when you go out for shopping, and this time it's so easy to get angry because there are so many restrictions. Go to shopping center, there are restrictions. There are restrictions to buy, restrictions to pay, restrictions to stand up. And when you go out in the cities again, there are so many other restrictions. So authorities like the police are working so hard to keep the distance. And sometimes people may think that why the police are policing. And with that, we become a short temper and create the conflict, and there will be debates or maybe riots. So that's why it's very important that we are conscious about the first precepts, not harming and killing any beings. Second precept is about not taking what is not given. And again, now, this is the time every governments are announcing that will give support or help to people, to the organizations, to the companies, to the offices. And there will be plenty of people, plenty of organizations and companies will exercise to get out of it, best of it for themselves, without considering of anyone who is behind and who is having a real trouble. And that's also form. Yes, you have a right, but you are not showing any compassion towards those who are vulnerable, those who are in a real difficult time. It is a form of your taking which is not given to you. Yes, you are taking which is, you are liable to it, but in the meantime you have to show the compassion towards those who are in real trouble. And this is more or less acceptable. And with this, what is also may follow, and it's already been following, that like a week ago, two weeks ago, I think, someone broke the shed and took away all the savings, all the food that was saved. And in the meantime, in Inverness, a couple of people broke into the care home and took away all the senior citizens, those who are in the care room, their properties take away. So stealing also will increase. And this needs to be very careful too. So in this way, what we need to be conscious about is the being kindness and compassionate. So being compassionate towards others. Ability to keep ourselves or our property in safe hand, and as well as giving others the safety. Peace of mind that nobody is coming to break in and take away their stuffs. And this needs to be very, very carefully practiced too. And with this, what is happening is we are practicing compassion to one another. You're practicing compassion to yourself by not taking what is not given to you. And also with this, you are not invading any other's property or any other people's things. So this needs to be understood and practiced. And the third, not having any sexual misconducts. And this is not just having a sexual misconduct, it is basically talking about the sense that entertains sensual pleasures. And here, sensual pleasure, again, not indulge in anything too much. When we watch too much, then again that's indulgence. And this time again, being living together at home, husband and a wife, you need to respect each other's. And this is one of the causes that the statistics is telling in this lockdown time, that is a sexual violence at home and sexual abuse being increased. And this is, if you practice it, then you will be able to respect mutually one another, an ability to gain the respect with each other. And this, I think, needs to be understood and consciously practiced, and being mindful of it every night, every day. And this is the third precept. And the fourth precept is not lying or saying the truth. And this time we need to be very truthful to one another, not consuming any news that is not true, and not manipulating the news that we hear. And sometimes when we are living, even the other thing is, when we are living together, so many past incidents and past memories will come during the conversation time. And as you converse about the stories, your life and things, if you become a truth, then you will be able to deal. You will go along with that. But if you are saying something wrong, not truth, then that creates dishonest and conflict. And particularly this topic, the fourth precepts, I would suggest that all the government ministers and the officials should be practicing it very well. So with that, all the government officials will be providing the real information about this COVID, and giving a real information that how much the government is working to keep safe all the members of the public. So this also needs to be practiced properly. And for we as a actor, not just an actor, being a network host, we can also practice this too, with being honest and saying the truth, being a truth. With that, we're creating the trust in one another. And the last precept, which is not taking anything that clouds our mind. And this, I would say, there are two things to be remembered. One is excessively drinking alcohol. Two, taking any drugs. These two, if possible, leave or stop drinking. If not, drink only one, or drinking mindfully that you can manage and you able to function properly and you can think properly. If you are drinking excessively, or if you are taking drugs without considering its effect, then everything will be messed up. Domestic violence obviously will increase, and you will be causing a lot of damage to yourself and then to the family, and then also to the society. Police will have to work harder. Social workers needs to work harder, and also government officials. So you're affecting so much. So in this time, if possible, stop taking these substances that clouds your mind. When you stop taking, what happens is your mind becomes clear. Your mind is clean. Your conscience becomes clear. And with that, any decisions that you're going to take, anything that you're going to make it happen, will come smoothly. Particularly in this situation, everybody is having a trouble. Everyone is having a physical trouble and particularly mental trouble. If our mind is not clear, if your mind is polluted and you cannot function because of these substance, drugs or alcohol, then the situation will get worse and everyone will be in trouble. So precept number 5, not taking any substance that clouds your mind. And basically, do not drink excessively the alcohol. So these are the 5 precepts. That is the fundamental ethical practice that if we can practice soundly, then it can reduce a lot of problems as we see the connections with ourselves and then the society during this time. And we are giving a safeguard, and also we are generating the harmony within ourselves, within the family, and then in the society. So these are the simple things that we can do to help one another. So this, I would say, I would respond to you who asked me that what Buddhism has to offer in this situation. So this is the first topic that I would say, if we practice Sila properly, then we will be able to help one another to get away or to be calm and then solve this situation, not only to ourselves and then but to others too. There are other 2 topics that I want to add on, but unfortunately we don't have time for today, that Buddhism has to offer to deal with this situation, and which I will continue tomorrow night and following nights to cover it, and then we'll hopefully you will get that what Buddhism has to offer to us during this time. So with this reflection, may you be happy, peaceful and successful, and stay safe and stay connected. And most importantly, do not forget to practice. Further on, after a few minutes time, we will have an evening chanting for half an hour. After that, there will be another half an hour guided meditation. You are most welcome to tuning in and connected. If not, we'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30. Until then, good night.